Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Ready, Set, Grow show with Deb and Hillary. And we're here giving you tips, tricks, and advice strategies on how to build your business online. And tonight we've got company.
They always know the appropriate times to pop in.
Yeah. So tonight we're dealing with personality types on how to customize your sales page, your sales presentation, sorry, for different personality types.
You're messing my hair.
Personality type. So this is
Kristen,
personality type.
Kristen, can you be quiet while mommy talks? I can't hear her. Life happens, people.
Life happens. All right. So we're talking about customizing your presentation for different personality types. And why is that important? Because you've probably recognized a theme here. Okay. We've been talking about different personality types, how to speak to different people when you're trying to basically present them with, maybe it's an opportunity, maybe it's a product, maybe it's a service. But we've experienced, both Deb and I, in our entrepreneurial journey, that very often we get handed on a cookie cutter platter a presentation that they say, go and give this presentation to anybody,
Everybody.
and
Yeah.
everybody, and they will buy or they
Yep.
will join, whatever
Yep.
the case may be.
And we fall for it. We fall
yeah.
for it. And so we do. We just start chattering with everyone, and we don't understand what Hillary and I are doing over these last weeks and coming weeks is we're trying to teach you. We all have personalities.
Mm-hmm.
And so once you kind of understand a personality, like we talked last week, basically, Hillary's an engineer. I'm a nurse. Those are two different ways to communicate to somebody.
Yeah.
You didn't think about that, did you? Well, that's why we're here. So that's what we want to do is once you kind of learn, not kind of, once you learn how to talk to, you pick up, you have a slight conversation and you pick up on, oh, okay, this person seems to need structure, seems to need some systems and, whatever it is that, but I pick it up on it and I know how to talk to this person. So once you learn the different personalities, you actually can talk to everyone.
Yeah.
You just shift the way you need to chat with them.
Exactly. So we're not saying here that if, for example, and you've seen us hold these beautiful colored items, right? So, but we're not saying that you have to have a presentation for each person. What we're saying is that your presentation, you know where to go. So, as you figured out, my background is an engineer, and there's certain things that I value. All right. I value processes and systems. That's why I became an engineer. I couldn't possibly become an artist because I don't do this whole free flowing thing, right? It does not jive well with me. You see the free flowing kid that just came here and I'm trying to have my life, doesn't jive well with me.
And I am a nurse by profession. And so I love relationships and community and harmony. And so it's, hugs and just the warmth,
Yeah.
as opposed to a blueprint or an engineer, I should say, not a blueprint. You're not a blueprint. You're an engineer.
I'm
A
an
blueprint's for
engineer,
a house.
like an architect, And what's interesting, like, as we're talking about different types of professions, I think of architects as structure, but then I always thought of architects as like artistic people, right? But they kind of like know how to blend that beauty with structure. So we're talking sales presentation. And in my brain, right, I see a slide deck, all right, because that's just how my brain works. I see slide decks, and I would know that, okay, if they give me this slide deck, I'm going from this slide to this side to this side.
Mm-hmm.
But have you ever experienced where you're going through your presentation and that you're looking out to the crowd and you're seeing certain people nodding off or
Mm-hmm.
looking up in the corner on a certain slide? But then when you get to another slide, they're like all peaked and their interest is like, "Ooh, this is interesting. This I like."
Right.
That speaks into the different personalities. So one of the things that I always noticed was that there's certain people who always seem to get excited on the slide that has the vacation images and the beach images and the jewelry and the bling and the blang and the boats. And then there are people on that same slide that are literally looking up in the sky like this is of no importance to me. Those are two different personality types, and we will dive, like, if you really want to delve deep into this, we're going to encourage you to click the link in the description. All right,
Right.
the link is in the description where you're going to be exposed to these things. But we're talking about people that in a presentation, if you know that you're speaking to somebody who likes freedom and vacation and they're showy and fashionable and they're always wearing red. It's like, you know, they're people who, if they're always wearing red and they're always like well done, made up, and yeah, you know that you want to linger on that slide and maybe add a couple more. Right? Maybe your company gave you a presentation with only one slide of the yachts and the jewelry and the boats, and but if you're talking to somebody that likes that kind of stuff, don't you want to like pad your presentation with all of those things because they'll be interested in that, right?
Right. Right.
Now, on the flip side, if your company has slides about test tubes and the research that has been done,
Yeah, the
they're
person who was wanting to be on the beach is going to be the person like this. And so this is what we're saying. Usually, and Hillary and I have talked about her presentations and my presentations, and they pretty much kind of flow actually with different things that the company wants us to talk to people about.
right.
And so what you have to do is kind of pepper that. Like she said, you're going to want maybe some beaches here, and remind them down here. And same with the person who loves the science behind the products,
Mm-hmm.
and and the comp plan. We know, I think everybody has a comp plan. Well, if that person in red is loving the beaches, they probably are already loving the comp plan too, because that is um, a winner for them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like this. This can
Yeah.
help me be a winner, you
Mhm.
know? So you see how it just depends on, you've got to study the people,
Yeah.
but you can notice right away, you will be able to notice who's watching which slides.
Yeah. Mhm. And then sometimes what you would want to do is if you're making that observation. So, unfortunately, sometimes in the situation that you're in, you don't have the opportunity to identify who's who. Okay. So, you can't tailor that presentation then. But here's what you do: you make your presentation speak to all, and then you identify who you need to maybe drill into. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
pull them aside and speak certain values to
Yeah.
them. All right. So that they now see a more customizable presentation to themselves. One
Right.
of the things from my own personal experience and now having cracked my own code is that anytime a presentation spoke about processes and systems and timelines and the structure, anytime a presentation spoke about structure, I was automatically sold. But when a presentation talked about the freedom and the opportunity and the fun. Not that I'm a not fun person, but those things just didn't really appeal to me,
Right, right.
right?
And the
Um,
same with the, a lot of times the companies will have a charitable
yes.
foundation that they are wanting all of us, the network marketers, to give to
Mhm,
and interest other people.
mhm.
That would touch my heart. It's like, oh, yes, I'm all about that, community
Community,
and
charity,
relationships
yeah,
and yes, and so charity.
and giving back,
So,
definitely, yeah.
exactly.
Mhm. And even in some of those, so one of the things that I listened to a leader recently talk about this, but he said that the industry of network marketing is one of the few industries that promote personal development and personal growth.
Yeah,
That also is something that, depending on the personality type, would actually be of great value to them,
right,
because the people who are looking for genuine personal growth, all right, and that is something that few people tend to pick up on, all right, and the personality type, that embraces this well, they don't often show it. So it's something that you have to just know this is what they're interested in: growth, learning,
right.
all right.
Yep,
um, and a lot of the knowledge as well. There are different personality types. So some people may think that, well, a scientist isn't going to be interested in a business opportunity. And our response to that is it depends on how you present it to
exactly.
them. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So,
If you can show them the big picture,
yeah.
that would interest,
Hmm.
that would probably grab all personalities getting a taste of the big picture. But certain personalities are going to pick up on it quicker. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I need to see the big picture. And
Yeah.
then I need to kind of car, car I can't even say the word tonight. Compartmentalize. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. They need to compartmentalize. And most likely, those personality types are also going to be most interested in the research, the background, the history, all right, of the organization and the products that you're promoting. They
Yep.
want to know, they're kind of logic thinking. They want to know, all right, and then let them make their decisions, right? That's the interesting thing about some personality types, is that the presentation doesn't sell them,
No.
they sell themselves. All right. Most people will sell themselves, but you are able to guide the process in a sense.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Yeah. So that, and although we didn't break down any specific presentation here tonight, what we wanted, is to let you know and to show you how most companies create presentations in the hope that it speaks to everybody.
Right.
Your job as a sales professional, as a network marketer, as a direct sales professional, your job is to take what's been given to you and tailor it to the person that you're speaking to. And the
Right.
only way you're going to know who you're speaking to is if you first crack your code and then crack theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And once you've cracked their code, then you know exactly how to tailor the presentation to.
Right.
The link is in the description.
And the code that she's talking about happens to be a free thing
Yeah,
that you can do.
just crack your
So,
code.
yeah,
Follow the
just
link and just crack your code.
exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly.
All
And
right.
so you will get that with the link in the description. It'll lead you there and crack your code. It's free. What do you have to lose?
Yeah. All right. Well,
90
have a good
seconds.
90 seconds, literally.
Yeah.
And then you'll know. So have a good night. And we will be continuing this series where we're going to be taking a few different things inside of this industry and demonstrating how you can adjust and tweak and modify it for the personality type. So if you've cracked your code, drop it in the comments below. All right. We
Yeah.
want to see what's your code.
Exactly. Exactly. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.